Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second season of DRF TV's Oaks Countdown. Nicole Russo coming to you from Kentucky, joined by Dan Illman in New York. And for the rest of this winter and spring, we're going to bring you a weekly look at the lead up to the Kentucky Oaks, the 145th running of the Philly Classic, now less than 11 weeks away on the first Friday in May. We're going to start by taking a look at your current point standings toward a spot in the 14-horse starting gate. These are going to become more important as the point values are going to go up the closer we get to the race. Each filly on this list accompanied by her top buyer to date. You see divisional champion Jaywalk starting from a good spot on there. Bellafina, who has won both of her starts this year. But Dan, vaulting to the top of the standings last weekend was Serengeti Empress, who won the Grade 2 Rachel Alexandra at the Fairgrounds, now a three-time stakes winner, and she's already a graded winner at Churchill Downs.
And you can look at that Rachel Alexandra one of two ways. You can say, well, she got away to an easy lead against suspect competition and she made them pay. Or you're going to look at it more favorably the way I'm going to look at the race. She showed easy speed out of the gate, was able to clear over, and then just destroyed the field. And that's what I like about Serengeti Empress. She leaves no doubt. No photo finishes on her page when she wins races. She wins races by 20 lengths, by 14 lengths, and the Rachel Alexandra, she won by 4.5 lengths. Most importantly, we see that 91 buyer speed figure earned around 2 turns. She now has a nice base. 3 mile and a 16th races leading into her next start.
Yeah, and you mentioned her high cruising speed, her tactical speed. You know, she did get an easy lead in the race, had things her own way, but good horses can make their own luck. Serengeti Empress is the first graded stakes winner by her sire, the Grade 2 winning Millionaire Alternation. She's out of an unraced Bernardini mare, whose Dam and Grand Dam, both group winners in Argentina. She won her debut last year at Indiana, and interestingly enough, last year's Oaks winner, Monomoy Girl, also debuted there. The Fairgrounds road to the Kentucky Oaks has been a productive one. Both Monomoy Girl and Untappable won the Rachel Alexandra during their lead up, and Lovely Maria was runner-up in that race a few years ago as well.
Absolutely. Serengeti Empress has proven now that she can run fast around 2 turns as well as sprinting. And we saw that last year in the Ellis Park debutante when she just destroyed the field going 7 furlongs. This was sort of the coming out party. You mentioned the debut win at Indiana Grand, but this was a really visually impressive and fast race for an August 2-year-old, earning an 84 buyer speed figure. And what Serengeti Empress has shown is that if you give her a race without much other pace, she can control it and be very dangerous. She has a running style very similar to what Monomoy Girl was showing at this point last year.
Yeah, very much so. And I am going to be curious to see what happens as she faces some other top fillies as we move on and if someone looks her in the eye. I think the one knock I have against her is that in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile fillies, when she encountered a little bit of trouble early and was kind of taken out of her normal running style, she just sort of showed no interest later on in the race in making up ground. So I do want to see how she can respond to adversity. I think that's a very important thing with a horse.
And I don't think they're going to take a hold of her anymore. I think they realize now that speed is her game. They're going to try to make the front in each and every race that she is involved in, and that has been a very productive style for her. I'm interested in your take on her pedigree. You mentioned the Dam and unraced mare by Bernardini. A lot of speed on the bottom of the pedigree, but I liked the sire Alternation. I thought he was a very underrated horse. He won the Peter Pan at 3, and then he reeled off a really nice string of races as an early 4-year-old, including a win in the Pimlico Special. So while some folks are questioning Serengeti Empress's ability to get the 9 furlongs, I think with the right trip, she'll get it.
You know, I very much think she could with the right setup. As we mentioned, her high cruising speed, she's got a nice foundation with those races around 2 turns already. And Alternation, yeah, I think a very underappreciated racehorse. You know, he didn't strike me as particularly flashy, but he went out, did his job, did it well, was very consistent to retire as a millionaire. And I do think he's been underrated as a sire. Pin Oak Farm, which bred him and stands him, supporting him with their broodmare band. But not getting a lot of, respect or support from the deep broodmare bands at other farms. As a result, he's kind of, taken a little bit to get his stud career going. He was a bit of a later bloomer himself, so I don't think we can write him off, and I do think that his progeny will be able to go a distance.
And maybe not a true grade one horse alternation. I think that's the question that many skeptics have of Serengeti Empress. Is she a true grade one horse? When they tried her at Saratoga in her second lifetime start, it didn't go very well. The Breeders' Cup you mentioned, it didn't go very well, but she's been beating up on these grade two-ish type fields. Her confidence should be sky high right now, and while she is the points leader for the Kentucky Oaks right now, she's still flying a little bit under the radar. I think everyone is talking about Bellafina, and everyone is waiting breathlessly for the 3-year-old debut of Jaywalk.
Very much so, and I mean, in the upcoming weeks, we're going to get a chance to get a look at some of these fillies. As we mentioned, the point values are going to start to go up. The road to the Kentucky Oaks will continue with the UAE Oaks later this week at Maidan, which awards the winner 50 points. We're also expecting to see Jaywalk making her first start since winning the Breeders' fillies in the Devona Dale at the end of next week at Gulfstream. And we'll be back next week here on the Oaks Countdown to continue looking at all of that lead up.